What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Emma if you're new here, and I love to talk about all things Peloton cycling and fitness. So be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. I post every single Sunday, and today's video is going to be a fun one. This weekend, I am participating in the 5 Boro Bike Tour of New York City. It is tomorrow. Today is Saturday. It's on Sunday, May 5th, and this bike tour is a 40-mile bike tour, and they shut down a bunch of roads in New York City, and we are touring all 5 boroughs. So it starts in Manhattan, we ride up to the Bronx, Queens, Brooklyn, and then finish on Staten Island. I'm so excited. Somebody commented on one of my videos a while ago, many months ago at this point, and told me I should look into this event, and I did, and I said, sign me up. This looks absolutely amazing. And it's not a race, it's more of like a fun bike tour, and I'm really excited that the roads will just be shut down. I have recently purchased a road bike now that I moved to New York City and I know I'm going to be here for at least the next 4 years. I'm like, all right, it's time to stop bumming off my dad's friends when I want to ride, and I actually need to get my own bike. I got my bike back in January. I showed up at the Trek bicycle shop, and I knew that my dad had issues during the pandemic. Like, there was a lot of backlog and it took a long time to get your bike. So I was like, go in January and that'll give me more than enough time to get it before the summer, which is when I plan to ride. And I literally left with a bike that day. So there was no backup, but you know, it's been nice to have. There was like one warm day in February where I got out and could ride around, but I've only ridden around 100 miles on my current road bike. I got a Trek Domain AL4 Generation 4, which is a versatile introductory road bike. I really love it for riding around New York City. My most common route is going over to the West Side Highway and kind of doing a loop around Manhattan. I've ridden in Brooklyn a bit as well. And yeah, so far so good. I'm excited to race with it tomorrow, and it should be a lot of fun. My dad is coming in this afternoon. He's bringing his bike so we can be up and early and do our thing tomorrow morning. I'm very excited that he is riding with us, and it should be a really fun day. There are a couple caveats though. The first is the starting point is at the absolute like lowest tip of Manhattan, and I live in the Upper East Side, so I'm pretty sure the plan is going to be to ride to the starting point tomorrow, which when I was looking at it, it seemed like that would be about an extra 6 miles. But you know, I think it's okay. We can take the subway, but I just figure with bikes, it's going to be such a hassle, and like it's just better to ride these 6 miles. Then we'll do the 40-mile bike tour. It finishes in Staten Island, where you have to then take the Staten Island ferry back to this tip of Manhattan. And then again, I plan on riding back up to the Upper East Side. So we'll probably do a little over 50 miles tomorrow if everything goes to plan. One thing I am worried about is the weather this year. Like a week ago, my dad sent me the weather forecast and it was supposed to be like 78 degrees and sunny. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to like whip out the bike shorts, like whip out the tank top, like it's gonna be hot. And then earlier this week, it quickly changed into the forecast of rain the entire day. Now looking at it, you know, a little over 12 hours before the event is starting, it seems to say that it shouldn't rain as much in the morning, and then in the afternoon it's raining. So again, we'll like have to play everything by ear, but so far we're planning on doing it. Hopefully, as long as it's not like pouring and thundering, we will do it. I am really excited about it. And we got assigned to Wave 4. We know somebody that did it last year, and also all the online advice is basically like, try to get in the earliest wave as possible because the Staten Island ferries get backed up. But we tried to get in as early as possible. When you sign up, it asks you like when you want to start, and I said earlier the better. But you know, wave 4 is okay. Our wave starts at 9:15 and they say to get there between 8:15 and 8:45. So I think we'll probably leave here around 8, maybe a little before. Tomorrow morning is definitely going to be hectic, which is why I am filming the intro now. But I am very excited. It should be fun. I haven't done a biking event with my dad since the Donut Derby in 2022, so it has been a hot sec. But we are back, and I will show you my bike setup for tomorrow. Here's my bike all out and ready. I got my bib, and I already have water bottles in the fridge for tomorrow. I have my bell, my phone holder, gloves, and my helmet. And then I'm also packing some snacks. There are aid stations, but I just kind of expect this to be very, very hectic. That's what I've read about online. Just the entire event is very hectic. So I want to have some things in case if we can't stop. And then I think people also like stop and go to bars, like get lunch during it. Like it's a very chill event. But I think our plan is to mostly just ride through. So I'm bringing my own snacks. So we're gonna bring 2 different goos, which are just like energy gels, and a peanut butter RX bar. And I think that'll be enough. Worst comes to worst, we can always stop and get some food. We are in New York City. We are not in a stranded situation. I also did go with Chris yesterday to pick up my bib and my dad's bib. Proxy Bib Pickup is really easy, which was nice. And I did take a little bit of footage, so I'll play that now. Time to pick up the bibs. Chris is along for the ride. It seems like a very big operation, but it's pretty empty. That was very organized, but they didn't have a lot of free stuff, which was sad. But we did get some good old C4, which I feel like C4 is at like every single race event, but I will take it. But overall, it was really, really chill. We did go midday Friday, so that probably helps, but they were definitely prepared for a huge crowd and they really kept it moving. So it's not huge like some races. You can get a bunch of free stuff if you walk around. There wasn't a lot of that, but if you want to buy merch, you definitely can buy it when you pick up your bib. It's now the next morning and we're fueling up with some bagels. Yep. My dad got here, no rain yet. Today there are many layers because it's not raining right now, but rain is still in the forecast. And if it rains, it's going to be very cold when you're on the bike. So I'm wearing a long sleeve Swiftly and then another like Nike dry fit shirt on top. And then I also am going to wear a rain jacket because if it rains, you got to be protected. And we're repping Peloton with the Peloton Cadence leggings. And that is the outfit of the day. And we actually have to wear this like helmet cover, which looks a little goofy, but that's the final touch of the outfit, and gloves. We have made it to the start line with minor detour. It was my fault because we like met up with a bunch of other people that were riding and I just trusted them, and I don't know if they were in a different wave or they just didn't know where they were going, but we like got to a place that there were bikers, but I'm like, this is like not where we're supposed to be. But we are at wave 4. It's actually less crowded than I thought it would be because each wave should have like 5,000 people in it, but maybe more will show up. It's like 15 minutes before, but it took us 52 minutes to get here, which it shouldn't have taken us that long. Yeah. We're ready. We had to walk up quite far, but I think we're at the starting point.
Yeah, we're ready to go.
Ready to go, and 7 miles already down. We're slowly getting closer to the start. The start is like a bottleneck, I think, to force people to spread out more. We have to stop at a lot of lights because they still have to let traffic through. But we have started. We're like 1 mile in. We are 14 miles in. Yeah. Making like pretty decent time.
Yeah, I think so.
But now we're just all like walking at the Queensboro Bridge. I don't really know what's happening. But everybody just got off their bike and started walking. I don't know, up there, yeah. We're averaging about 11 miles per hour. But this is gonna slow us down. Here's what we're dealing with. We're at a rest stop at mile 18 in Astoria, Queens. It's a pretty big operation. My dad's going to the bathroom, and I think I'm gonna have my first goo. We're about 2 hours in. We have jet blackberry on the menu. It's just started drizzling, but so far, like, no bad rain. Like, if it just drizzles like this is fine. It's very, very light. So, knock on wood that this is the weather for the rest of the time. Cooled off. We just finished the BQE. 33 miles in. We skipped one of the rest stops because we were feeling good, but I was like, I need to take off my rain jacket because I'm getting hot and get some water before we tackle the next small hill. It looks not steep, but when you're on it, it feels steep. We've already hit our 40 miles though because we rode 7 miles down. We finished! Time to get our medal. We got our medals. And there's a nice sign that awaits us. Going to the ferry, which we are. 4 miles to go. The Finisher Festival is going on. They got a band, food stands, water. I'm kind of in the search for a banana, but we'll see. They had them at the rest stops, but I was like, I don't want a banana now, but at the end. Heading out. We have now made it to the ferry, but the ferry line is looking a little rough. It is like a little before 1:30, and you can't even see the ferry docking station from here, so a little concerning. We got on the ferry with only waiting 20 minutes, so we'll see what time this ferry leaves, because there seems to be a decent amount of room left, but I'm very impressed because I thought we were gonna have to wait a long time. Snack time as well, I'm hungry. We just sat on the bottom though so we can get out the fastest, hopefully, because we're ready to get home now. Off the ferry, we're making good time, it's 2:20, and now we just need to bike like 7 more miles home, but we're gonna try to go up the West Side Highway. We'll see if everyone else has the same idea as me though. We did make it home, but we made it home very wet. It rained a lot. We probably should have taken the subway, but it was a nice ride besides it being very rainy. And now we have completed the entire biking of the day. Post-ride pizza. Very hungry, we're ready. It is now the next day. I'm surprisingly not sore for the distance that we did. I think it is because I've been riding more lately, so I definitely have never done the distance we did yesterday, but it was an exciting push, feeling good. I did sleep like 9.5 hours last night. I was very, very tired after yesterday, but it was a lot of fun, and I thought I would just do a little bit of a recap / like give my final thoughts. So first off, in total, we did 57 miles yesterday with the 5 Boro Bike Tour plus like the ride to the ferry, which is counted in the 40 miles, I think. Strava told me I did around 41, so pretty accurate. And then we did another 16. We did 7 miles there and 9 miles back from the start point and then the ferry coming into Manhattan. So you definitely could have cut it short. We could have taken the subway, but I figured we might as well keep riding, especially the West Side Highway has some really beautiful routes. So that's the way we went home, which was nice. But overall, I did enjoy it. It was a fun thing to do with my dad. Now, would I do it in the future years? I'm not sure. I would have to sit on it and think a little bit. I think the biggest con is that you have to commit to doing this. Like, it sells out before you know what the weather is going to be like. Like, if it was a nice day yesterday, I would definitely have more positive feelings about it. And thankfully, during the tour itself, it didn't rain that much, but obviously it could have been a lot nicer and that would have made it more enjoyable. The other thing is that I feel like the signage wasn't that good. It was confusing how to get to our wave, which was kind of on me because they did provide instructions, but I just kind of assumed when we got down to Manhattan to the tip and like near the starting point, there would be a lot of signs, and there really wasn't. So that's something to keep in mind. Definitely know like exactly where you're supposed to be and go there. And then even on the route itself, I feel like there's not like mile counter signs. There's like a couple, but not a lot. There are aid stations. I would say there were aid stations at least every 10 miles. And bathrooms usually around every 5. Definitely more bathrooms and aid stations once we got out of Manhattan because there's more room. But for me, like when I think about what I'm paying for, when I'm doing a running race, I'm paying to have the aid stations every mile, you know, not have to carry my water, not have to carry gels, and like get everything from the support of the aid stations. While for biking, like I'm on my bike, I carry my water with me, I carry my snacks with me. I don't really need aid stations. Like, sure, they're nice and the bathrooms are nice to have porta potties along the way, but they're not necessary. Like, I feel like overall my dad and I could have just as enjoyable, if not a more enjoyable experience just by choosing a 40-mile route ourselves and doing it. Again, this could also link back to it being not as nice of weather, but I do feel like, sure, you get to see like some parts of New York City, but I do live here. I do ride my bike, so it's not like anything that I saw was like crazy. The only borough I haven't been to was Staten Island, which, you know, I think it was fine, but it wasn't anything like super, super special to justify participating in this race or event. And then the last thing that I wanted to comment on is I was really nervous going in because when you read online about this, a lot of people say that there's a lot of like new riders or riders that are not good or like gonna get in your way or like do stupid things and cause accidents. I really did not see a lot of that, and we started in wave 4. We definitely passed a lot of people. It took us around 4 hours to complete, I think a little bit under. But yeah, I didn't see like that many accidents. The biggest thing is that like sometimes we had to get off our bikes if there was traffic to like wait. And then also, like, when we were going down the Queensboro Bridge, I did vlog there. I really don't know what happened. It seemed like they were just doing a security check to make sure that everyone had paid for this race. But yeah, that was weird. And again, like, not good signage, not good announcements. We just kind of got off our bike because everybody else was. And then number 3, the hills. People would go up so slowly on, which I know like they're not super serious riders, and B, like I have a nice bike. So going up hills on a nice bike is definitely way, way easier than going up hills on a older bike or a bike that doesn't have a lot of gears or a heavier bike. So I feel for them. But in my opinion, the worst parts is when we were going up hills and like everybody's just going really slow, and like I'm not trying to speed up the hills, but I want to go at a good pace. Like I also want the hill to be over. So I feel like that was like the biggest negative for me, that the hills were just killer. But besides that, it was a fun event. It would definitely be more fun with the like nicer weather. There were people out cheering. Again, not a ton. I think there would have been more if it was nicer weather, but I always appreciate the cheering. There were some bands set up along the route. I do feel like, you know, they tried to bring the vibe. People did stop for like beers or coffees on the track, but I feel like I didn't see a ton of that. I definitely saw people stopping, but I thought it would be a lot more. Again, I don't know if people were trying to like race through because it definitely got rainier as the day went on. So if people, you know, weren't dilly-dallying as much in previous years. But overall, it was still a fun event. I don't regret doing it at all. And I like would consider doing it in the future. I just think May is a risky time to have it. I feel like we get a lot of rain here. So to sign up again and like know that you get another rainy day is discouraging. But overall, it's fun. I haven't done a bike race in a while. It kind of makes me want to do more. I need to like look and see what else is offered around New York City. And of course, I'm always keeping the Donut Derby in the fall in mind. That's it for this video. Let me know if you've ever done the 5 Borough Bike Tour, and if so, what you think. I would be very, very curious. I hope you guys are staying safe, having an awesome week, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!